Alright, so where do we want to land? Those big black areas seem like they would be at least flat. Maybe not interesting, but I don't need interesting right now. I need possibility of returning alive. There goes our retrograde. Okay. Okay, 1915. And here we go. Into the atmosphere we go. Avu, I'm coming for you. Okay, and we got all the signs from the atmosphere, except for the EVA report, which, if I'm going to get it now, I gotta get it now. Oh, so this is still space? Wait, didn't it say 48 kilometers from the atmosphere? Or was it 43? Okay, weird. Anyway, EVA report, keep. It's 40 science. I should be able to transmit that without any repercussions. I have enough electricity, yeah. I do need to retract the antenna right away, though. Okay, it's automatically retracting. Alright. Anyway, let's hope we slow down enough. Okay, we do get a good surface rotational boost of like 70 meters per second, which isn't a lot, but it's worth something. Okay, the atmosphere is pushing us significantly that way, so I'm going to just service radial out in an attempt to keep us vaguely pointed, sort of in a drag-producing orientation. Okay, good news. We have slowed down by a significant amount. We may reach the surface with full or nearly full field. Hold on. We have drogue chutes, don't we? Can we use them? Safe to deploy, safe, min pressure. Can we deploy these? Yes, we can! And will they do anything is the question. They'll do something. Like, they've already done something. And will the mains deploy? Can I get the altitude of these? This one, where's, okay, there, altitude up. Now, my odds of getting back to Kerbin are fairly low, and I could just EVA bob out. But I also want that sweet science from Sweet Fun reward for returning a vessel. So do I use the main chutes now? I could use one of them and get away with just doing one later. Maybe. Possibly. We'll see how much these slow us down. Like, if we're below 50 meters per second, I will not use a main chute. Okay, we're close enough to 50 that I kind of feel confident just doing retro propulsion. Okay, 300 meters. Now is about the time. Okay, I could have done later, but like, alright, 100 meters. Yes, I'm wasting a little bit of fuel, but if it's to ensure a safe landing, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And, ladies and gentlemen, we have safely landed on the surface of Avu. We almost, I thought we were going to over for a second there. Alright, Bob, welcome to, you've set the record for 3 planets, not 3 planets, 3 celestial bodies other than Asite Par walked on. Now, granted, Val's was a lot more impressive, but the fact that you might actually be able to get back and not be stranded, Val's gonna be jealous. I did forget a ladder. I don't think we'll need a ladder, but it's possible that we might. And now I'll actually give this one a name of Landing Site 1, which will probably be the only time I ever land here. Not because I don't like it, it's just because like there's so many planets to get to, and I have a life. Okay, I can only barely jetpack here, so I'm glad that I can, because otherwise Bob might be stuck here in a really, really, really pathetic way. Cannot run experiment while stowed, so I will open the bay and then run everything again. seismic scan. Now, how much can we transmit? How much can we get away with transmitting? Okay, we can transmit that to refill our batteries. And it's about sunset, so let's transmit the crew report before sunset. The atmosphere analysis is a lot of data, so we can probably do the atmospheric pressure scan and the temperature scan. The others have like a lot of data, so we'll save those for when we have full or nearly full batteries, which we may not get because I didn't time sunrise very well. Okay, let's do the easier of the two. So 125 minutes. No usable in-range comms device. Okay, right. So we have to wait until. Okay, now we can transmit. But that was the wrong one. So we can transmit this one. I don't think we're going to have enough energy to transmit this one, so we have to wait a bit. We're going to refill the batteries, and then we have to transmit the... I'm not going to actually transmit the server sample. I might be able to get the server sample all the way home. Actually, no, hold on. This is 400 science. That's like a whole extra 275 from returning it to Kerbin. So what am I going to do? Or Essekpar, sorry, not Kerbin. It's I am going to attempt to carry this sample all the way back. Anyway, so let's wait until we got Scout 3 at a reasonable place to do rendezvous at. And here goes. We have Delta V, but like drag is going to play a major role in whether we get to orbit or not. Here goes. And liftoff of the Scout 3 lander. This is going to be like a Duna ascent, whereas like, oh, it's like, it's a deceptively high amount of fuel you need because of the atmosphere. Even though Duna's atmosphere isn't very thick, you still feel it coming through it. You feel it disproportionately. Oh. We're at the wrong inclination. For some reason it didn't set target correctly. Okay. Just a little bit awkward. We can fix... Nothing we can't fix, but I thought we were equatorial. I guess I was wrong. And yeah, we will have enough fuel to get to orbit just fine. Now whether we'll be able to do the plane change, that's questionable. We have probe control in the other half, so we have its fuel if we really need it. But I was... No, orbit, not target. Orbit, prograde. Ah. Switches at the worst times. Alright. So we are in a slightly higher orbit than it, so it will naturally catch up to us over time. So I burn prograde a little bit. This intercept should get closer. There, 3.6 kilometers with the descending node right there. Let's go retrograde a little bit. And the relative velocity is not very high. Okay, I'll deal with that later. It'll be fine. Everything is going to be okay. Okay, and then we have an intercept of 0.5 kilometers. And that's the loading. And where'd it go? Alright, there we are, 1.3 kilometers away. Let's get this rendezvous working and functional. We have 384 meters per second left on the tank, so as long as we dock with like above 360, I mean, well, granted, we probably won't be able to make it back anyway, but wishful thinking. Eventually, you kind of have to be an optimist about these things, or else you won't be able to make it through life. Okay, so now we can do the same thing we did here. Set this as target and point towards it, and hopefully do a really, really, really efficient docking. We'll be able to do this without any modern font whatsoever. We have some, but I don't want to use it. And yeah, perfect. Slam dunk. Boom. Okay, so now, $6 million question. Do we have enough fuel to get home? If we transfer all this fuel in here, we end up with maybe half a tank. Okay, slightly over half a tank. And we can get an exact delta V readout later. We also have this RCS propellant, which is only useful for once before it gets to this stage, and we have like 40 meters per second, maybe slightly more, of nuclear fire. So I don't know how much delta V that is, but it's probably around 1200, 1300 meters per second, plus the EVA jetpack if we really want to push it. So let's time warp all the way out to the Apoapis of Avu, and see if that's enough to appreciably degrade our low point. And it looks like we actually did pass Apoaptis here, so it's a bit less efficient. Imagine it's tight enough that we have to gravity assist off of one of the tiny moons. Okay, 400 meters per second is enough to get us here. No, stop doing that. I want to drag prograde. I don't want to, like, delete them. No, stop it! Stop it, seriously. Okay, I will. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can I? Oh, okay, all right. I don't have communications, so I cannot plot a maneuver node. That's fantastic. That's kind of dumb, but I understand why. So I'm actually going to postpone this to the next orbit because I won't be able to do it this orbit at all. So we want to drop it to the orbit of Reticulum at minimum 800. Yo, we can do this. Bob Kerman, you are coming home. We'll need to deal with the ascending and descending nodes, which may be best accomplished during the burn. Okay, and then we can correct this this small amount of descending node later on. Like, honestly, I'm confident even just leaving this thing here is like a space station. Okay, so the $1 million question. How much delta V? Well, first of all, we can grab some monorepellent to slightly increase the amount of delta V we have. Vary, like by just like adding RCS to the mix, which we'll use at the very beginning, of course, because it's the least efficient. So we can take on a very small amount of additional propellant. Okay, we need roughly 1200 meters per second to get this done. We have 1298 meters per second without even considering RCS. Bob Kerman, you have been the first person that we've sent on a one-way mission that is not one way. And I was worried that since this planet was so far out, it would take so like we wouldn't be able to make it back at all. I didn't think we'd be able to make it like off from the surface. And now we are here. We are going all the way back. However, the new maneuver nodes did delete, so I have to redo them. And ladies and gentlemen, there is our S-Site Par encounter. Alright, and we should just barely have enough fuel left, and if we start the burn in about 2 minutes. Okay. But I am going to start slightly before then, so I can take advantage of the RCS propellant. We're going to take our RCS, and we are going to burn all of it off, increasing our delta V from 1298 to hopefully around, I'd guess, 1330 or so. But that's actually not going to be, we're not going to have a chance to find out because it's to start burning now. 2, 1. I mean, it's not exactly crucial that we burn when we do. It's a little bit crucial. So we were able to gain some small amount of delta V by doing that, which does matter considering how tight of a margin we are on. Goodbye, Scout 3, and goodbye, Avu. I I always have to think for a second about what this planet is called. Like what any of the planets are called. I've been to Reticulum enough that's the one that sticks in my head. Plus, you know, it's cell-themed. If I'd known I'd be able to make it back, I would have taken those samples back and gotten all those more science as well. But whatever. I'll still get an extra 200, 300 for returning, plus whatever rewards I end up getting for being able to, whatchamacallit, return from those places. Because this thing actually landed on all three, so we're hopefully going to get the awards. The docking might invalidate it, but hopefully it won't. So now we just have to wait for 7 years. I mean, it's not actually going to be 7 years. It's going to be in like half of an Earth year, which is like 2 Kerbin years. So I'm going to go to Hyperwarp. And go faster! Node in 4 months, node in 3 months, node in 2 months, 3, 2, 1 week. And we can start burning now at any time. And there we are. Bob's coming home. I'm really amazed that that was able to be a 2-way mission. I did not expect that in my wildest dreams. Okay, let's get to Asite Par focus and see. Cannot delete maneuver node control lock. That's stupid. I just want okay, extend antenna, sure, I guess. But like, come on, Bob should be able to delete the maneuver node so he can see where he's going. It's kind of dumb that he can't. Oh, he can't. He literally can't. Oh no. So I can't refine the trajectory until I have communications. Oh no. Oh no. So due to computer technical oversight. Oh no. Bob will not be able to alter his trajectory for a significant... There we are, finally. Okay, we have communications. So now we can try to use the last 83 meters per second in delta V. Okay, that's increasing the closest approach. Retrograde should decrease closest approach. Okay, yeah, 16, 15, 14. Okay, Asite Par encounter. Okay, we actually are running out of delta V at an alarming rate. We've already burned through 30 meters per second doing those little corrections. And this plane change, we're gonna make it. I know we're gonna make it. Like, we can even EVA if we have to. Like, go out and push. But, like, oh man. It's just, seeing the numbers tick down is just... The other question, okay, well, I'm gonna decrease the thrust limiter on this. The other question is, will this survive re-entry? Because I don't know how fast we're going. So when it was deep as possible to get as much air braking as possible. Oh, wait a second. I thought, okay, we do have a decoupler, but we have no heat shield. Granted, this service bay is almost as good as a heat shield, but we might flip around. But this is pretty heavy, so we might not flip around. Oh man, that's gonna be close. Asite Par. How fast are we going at this point? Okay, pretty fast. We are going to enter the atmosphere at a blazing hot 6 kilometers per second, which is not survivable. Not in the slightest. So we're going to have to find a creative solution. Fortunately, I think I have one.